Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap. And in today's video we're going to be breaking down everything from Kansas Speedway, the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. But before we hop into it, I just want to remind you guys to hit that like button and subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it if you did that. And you can also check out our social media links, which are in the description. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into it. As always, my friend and co-host Matthew joining me on the show, who is repping the team that ended up winning today. So Matthew, I'm sure it's a little bit of a bittersweet day for you today as we finish up and talk about what happened at Kansas today.
Well, after the disappointing day for my end today, it was pretty much, it helped me feel better at the end of the race from the results, which we'll get into. And yeah, another great mile-and-a-half race. I love these next-gen cars on the mile-and-a-halves. And I'm excited. We still got like Vegas, Homestead. I'm not counting Texas. We're not counting that. But yeah, looking forward to the other ones in the playoffs.
All right, so I'm going to go over just a brief race recap, talk about the main points of everything that happened. I'm not going to go through every single detail because that would probably bore you guys to death. But the first major incident of the day involving playoff drivers once again involved, guess who? Ross Chastain. He was sliding up the track kind of into Bubba Wallace. They never touched, but he kind of forced his way up the track, and they both slid up right in front of Kevin Harvick. And Kevin Harvick, he tried to adjust his car. He got super tight, lost control of it, and just slammed his car into the outside wall off of turn 4, which would end his day very early. Didn't even finish stage 1. He pretty much did what Chase Elliott did last week, finished dead last, no stage points, no nothing. His second straight DNF, I think he finished like 33rd last week, finished 36th this week. So Kevin Harvick in a very big hole, pretty much a must-win situation now for him. And then another driver had issues in the first stage, and it was actually Tyler Reddick, who was the race leader at the time. He blew a tire coming off of turn 2, and then slammed the wall just the wrong way and pretty much damaged the suspension of that race car. He finishes way down as well, doesn't get any points either. I think he's like barely above the cut line right now. I'll go over all that at the end. But stage 1 would go to Christopher Bell. He was one of the strongest cars all day, started in the top 5, led a lot of laps, very strong race car. The Toyotas in general were pretty strong today, as we saw by the race winner, but Christopher Bell is really good as well. And then in stage 2, trying to see. Let's see. So the next playoff driver to have an issue was unfortunately your driver Kyle Busch. He spun off of turn 4, lost control of his race car, slid into the grass, blew a tire, and we think that there was some damage under that race car as well, because he was a lap down, but he got that lap back and never really bounced back inside the top 10 or top 15, so Kyle Busch had an issue as well. Alex Bowman would win stage 2. He looked surprisingly strong today, arguably the best Hendrick Motorsports car today, I would say, which was pretty surprising. And then Alex Bowman was still in the lead at this point in stage 3, but Bubba Wallace slowly started to catch him, and he eventually caught him. I think he passed him with about 45 laps to go or so, and then right after that they did green flag pit stops, and Bubba Wallace would cycle back to the leader as all of that sorted itself out. But Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin cycled out 2nd and 3rd, and then Denny Hamlin passed Christopher Bell, and he was slowly but surely trying to catch his car that he owns in Bubba Wallace, but he was unfortunate to do so, and Bubba Wallace would get the win, his first win this season, his second career win. So very happy for Bubba Wallace there, driving the 45 car, which is very weird. The 45 car swept the Kansas races. As you all know, Kurt Busch did it in the spring, so very happy for Bubba Wallace there. I'll go over the top finishers real quick, and then I'll let Matthew get his thoughts in about what he saw today. So as we look through the top 10 here, we have the Toyotas 1 through 3, Alex Bowman 4th, William Byron 6th, Kyle Larson 8th, and then as we look at some other playoff drivers as well, we got a whole stretch of them here. Chase Elliott 11th, Cindric 12th, Briscoe 13th, Dillon 14th, and then Logano's down there, Kyle Busch is down there, and then Tyler Reddick and Kevin Harvick 35th and 36th after their troubles today. So those are all the top finishers and the playoff finishers. I'll go over the playoff grid in just a little bit, but Matthew, what do you have to say after watching this race in Kansas?
Well, this race delivered basically just a typical Kansas race with this next gen car. A lot of playoff drivers in trouble, a lot of great racing, a lot of great passing. One of the things I love about Kansas, and especially this next gen car, is that a lot of people use the high line, but people can still gain. You're not just stuck in the with that dirty air. You can actually just get a little bit down from the top, get that nose, a little clean air, and that's how you're able to get a good run. So I do love how Kansas is a really great multiple lane racetrack. And I do want to start out with the winner, Bubba Wallace. I mean, if people look at the videos in the past, I've been a big Bubba Wallace fan. Well, mostly just because he graduated from KBM University, as I call it. One of KBM alumni, as I say. But I mean, of course, if you remember last year, he won at Talladega, getting his first career Cup win. But that was rain delayed. I mean, not rain. It was shortened due to rain. And of course, when you get rain shortened race, people are going to, say you didn't deserve it or just got lucky because of the rain. I think this win proves that Bubba Wallace can win, not just at a super speedway, but at a mile and a half, at any other mile and a half, basically. He can prove there, and he can win without being rain short. So he basically proved everyone that he can win in the Cup Series. I guess you say the traditional way, I guess. I mean, this team, especially Bubba Wallace, they have basically been on fire since the past couple months, basically. Ever since they made that important pit crew change, which of course the first half, they've had speed in the first half of the season, especially on the mile and a halves. But unfortunately, it was that terrible pit crew that he had that would always cost them a chance for a good finish. And after they did that, it's like, finally, they were getting the results that they deserved. Unfortunately, they were just a little too late to get in the playoffs because by then they had to basically win, basically. I mean, Michigan, he was so close to winning that. And of course, Bubba Wallace was emotional about that, which I totally understand because that was his only shot of getting in the playoffs. And, I mean, Daytona, we all knew how that race turned out for him, so that was basically his only shot to win the playoffs, to get in the playoffs, so he was emotional about that. But man, I'm just so proud of Bubba Wallace today. I mean, he drove literally an almost perfect race. I mean, they had that little incident with Chastain there, and then they had to go in the back because they had a loose wheel. But so it wasn't all sunshine and roses, but he was able to get back to the front, lead a lot of laps, and hold off his car owner, basically Denny Hamlin, while having to deal with stubborn lap cars that were multiple laps down that just wouldn't get out the way for some reason. But yeah, such a great win. 18 different winners now. We're probably going to get 20 different winners at this rate. We still got Blaney. We still got Truex. We still got a road course where we seen Michael McDowell run well. We seen Chris Buescher run well this year. And of course, A.J. Allmendinger on the road courses. We all know how he is. And then we also got Talladega. Anyone can win there. So, man, we're going to get 20 winners, I think. This is insane. And that's the one thing I love about this next-gen car. Everyone has an almost equal opportunity to win now. I'm talking about like big teams and mid-pack teams now. I'm not talking about terrible teams, no. They still got a lot of work to do, but those like in the middle area, like 2311, like Trackhouse, like Richard Childress, and I'll throw even RFK in front row because Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell have run so well this year. this new car has basically helped them get better results, basically, because they got the same chassis, the same car, basically. It's just all about, the driver, the setup, the pit crew. So I do love about that part. So getting to some of the people that have playoff trouble, Kevin Harvick, of course he got wrecked out early in the race. Well, Harvick got Chastain, and I guess Harvick was the newest victim on Chastain from Chastain. So he's basically the only driver now in a must-win, which Bristol's a good track. I mean, the past couple of years he's been up front. I mean, he won 2020, 2021. He almost won until Chase Elliott acted like his fan base and started throwing a fit there, but we won't get into that. But I think Harvick has a good shot of winning at Bristol. But yeah, he's in a must-win now. Of course, Tyler Reddick, he was leading the race until he blew a tire in his day, which I felt bad because he had the best car all weekend. Basically, he was fast in practice. He was, of course, got the pole. He was out front a lot, and he was looking to be a real contender today. But unfortunately, tire blew. So he's only 2 points to the good now. So he's going to need a really good run next week. And then Kyle Busch, which I'm not surprised about because that's what happens when you're in the 18 car, and it doesn't matter how good you run. It doesn't matter how fast your car is. It doesn't matter if everything's going perfect. Something's going to go wrong. So not surprised. And unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately. Bristol is his best track coming up. 9 wins there, but we don't know how this next gen car is going to race at Bristol. By the way, I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about it because Martinsville was not good at all, and this is the first time we're running Bristol on the concrete, not the dirt. So this is going to be a totally different race here. So I have a feeling it's going to be all about track position that race. So hopefully Kyle Busch qualifies well next weekend. But yeah, congratulations to Bubba Wallace. I'm so happy for him. I know there's some certain people on like Facebook or Twitter that might find some excuses, but too bad because he earned this win straight up. I mean, he didn't need no rain delay. He didn't need a super speedway. He won at 1.5 miles and led a lot of laps. So there you go. That's all you need to know. He can win. So congratulations to him. Oh, and Christopher Bell is the only driver locked in to the next round. And it's crazy. The first 2 races of the first round, they're both winners or non-playoff winners. So that's the 2022 season in a nutshell, basically. So we'll see if Bristol will have another different winner this year. I mean, another different winner next weekend, basically.
Yeah, so real quick, I do want to talk about Bubba Wallace. I didn't really get to say much, but yeah, you can tell in his interview that he was really happy and really wanted to shut some haters up. And all I'm really gonna say is that haters are still gonna hate no matter what. Like, it's not gonna shut them up. They're just gonna find different ways to find excuses. So I don't think he should take this win from that perspective. I think he should take it from the perspective that it validates him. It validates himself being in the Cup Series, racing against these guys and competing on a weekly basis. And we've seen him run strong all year long in that number 23/now 45 car for 23XI. And I think he should take it for himself and do it. He shouldn't take this win and shove it at the haters and be like, oh yeah, this is for the haters or whatever. I think he should do it for himself, because the haters are still going to find a way to hate him and make up excuses and all that kind of stuff. So I am very happy for him, and I think he's definitely going to win a lot more races in his future, especially as long as he's at 23XI Racing, because they've had fantastic cars all season, and he could have won 2 or 3 races this year. So I think he's going to win a lot more races in the future. But I'm also going to go over the playoff standings real quick. And like you said, Christopher Bell is the only driver locked into the next round based on points. and we have not had a playoff winner yet this playoffs, which is crazy through 2 races so far. But as we look at the playoff grid here, drivers like Byron, Hamlin, Logano, they're pretty good. They're all 40 plus above. Blaney, he's pretty good. Bowman, Elliott, Larson, Chastain, they're all pretty good. They're in the 20s or so above the cut line. Then we get down to these 6 drivers right here. Daniel Suarez, Tyler Reddick, Austin Cindric, they are above the cut line, barely. And then Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, and Chase Briscoe are below the cut line. And all those drivers are only plus or minus 10 points above or below the cut line. So if any one of those drivers has a bad day, or if one of them wins even a stage, that's 10 points right there. So I feel like that cut line is going to go back and forth all day / night long at Bristol next week. And obviously Kevin Harvick minus 35 has to win. So that any of those 3 out of 6, any 3 out of the 6 of those drivers can make it or not make it. Chase Briscoe could make it. Tyler Reddick could not make it. Kyle Busch can make it. Kyle Busch couldn't. Like, it's going to be crazy going into Bristol next week. So maybe we'll have to throw some predictions out there for who we think is going to advance and not advance. But we're going to rate the video now, or rate the race now, not the video. So for me, I think it was. I'm glad there weren't as many tire issues. I'm still upset that there were a few, like Reddick and Stenhouse. But I think I'll give the race a 7.5 out of 10. That'll be my rating for the race. So Matthew, what are you gonna rate the race before you get on out of here?
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I love the mile-and-a-half racing this year. This one was no exception. You can use multiple lanes, a lot of great racing, a lot of great passing, and a lot of chaos, basically. So, playoff chaos. Or, as Rick Allen would say, championship implications. So, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, and as for our fantasy points, you got 218 points this week. I got 230, which now puts us at me at 5,136, you at 5,119. So I grew my lead just a tiny bit over you as we head into Bristol next week, but that's going to be a very crazy race. So, Matthew, do you have anything else before we wrap the episode up? And I think you do have something that you want to say, so go ahead and tell the fans what news you saw before we recorded this video.
All right, September 13th. That'll be this Tuesday. Mark your calendars, because Kyle Busch will be making his announcement. The announcement that everyone is looking forward to, because this is pretty much the biggest free agent decision in NASCAR in a long time, basically. I mean, I know you have Kevin Harvick's free agency decisions up there. Of course, Dale Jr.'s free agency decision was up there. Or even Tony Stewart. This is up there. And, of course, I saw on Saturday there were some reports of going to a certain team, which I won't name because you probably already know by now. But, I'm not going to, say it's all true. I'm just going to wait till Tuesday until everything's official. Because I've seen, especially in motorsports this year, a lot of things that have said, oh, he's going to this team. When in reality, that wasn't true at all. I mean, just as IndyCar, Chip Ganassi has a lawsuit. Chip Ganassi filed a lawsuit against a driver because of that. And in Formula One, they won the F1 teams basically prematurely announced a driver when the driver didn't agree at all. So, well, I'm just going to wait till Tuesday until the announcement happens. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be one certain team that we've seen the reports lately. So, yeah. I'm sure Jimmy will post the picture of what Kyle Busch posted either on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, what he posted. But, yeah, September 13th, mark the calendar. And once that announcement drops, we'll do a video Tuesday night. So get ready.
Yeah, so there have been a lot of leaks and rumors, and Dale Jr. went on his tangent on Twitter last week. So there's a lot of... everybody's pretty sure where he's going, but it's not official just yet. That's why we don't want to record a video and talk about it until it actually is official. So we'll do that for you guys more than likely Tuesday night. Have that up by Wednesday. We hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys when we're talking about Kyle Busch silly season news. So hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you guys next time.